We were having a course not too long ago when one of my beloved customers had explained to me that she had had this amazing experience with the Dragonfly. I said, "What's the Dragonfly?" And she says, "Well, it's like a spirit box." And I said, "Well, what's a spirit box?" She says, "It's basically this telecommunication device to the other side." And without hesitation, I said, "It's about darn time."
Many of us have become very disconnected from our spiritual selves. When we connect with our spirit guides, we open up to new ideas, and before you know it, these ideas manifest into our new reality.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and I'm the sales manager and color educator for Color Energy. And I wanted to share my experience with you about the Dragonfly and how the Dragonfly and Color Energy became aligned. So, after she told me about her story of connecting with her father, who had previously passed that year, and had had this really profound connection with him and was able to have a two-way conversation and receive some profound answers, I couldn't wait to get home or to get into my car and to call Richard, who was the inventor of the Dragonfly, and discover about his invention.
When I invented the Dragonfly, I read this book called Breakthrough. This book excited the hell out of me. I couldn't believe it. There's another way to communicate with the other side. I was overwhelmed with joy. So in the beginning of the book, there's a few experiments that were tried. I instinctively knew what I had to do. So I tried it, I put it together, and what happened? Nothing.
For me, it just felt like with technology and where we're at in this day and age, I can't believe that this actually hasn't already come to light already, that we haven't already tapped into that frequency, because as you and I both know, everything in life is frequency.
It's what you do with the information you receive that will have the biggest impact on your life. Once you experience connecting with your spirit guides, you will start to open yourself up to the possibilities that this spiritual plane actually exists all around us, just on a different frequency. I'm Richard Raynaud, the inventor of the Dragonfly. I grew up in Oakville, Ontario. I was exposed to psychic events and the paranormal when I was really young, because my father was one of the first people to start psychic fairs in North America. So I'd be taken to like all these psychic fairs, these psychic camps. And during these events, one of the things I would always see would be my father's good friend, Michael Blake Reed. He would be like sleeping in a chair, and he would be speaking. I didn't know somebody was talking through him when I was that young. So he was what is known as a deep trance psychic, which is basically someone who falls asleep and has souls talk through them. So he had a group that were entitled the Evergreens. So my first session with the Evergreens was when I was 16. I actually got to go with a whole bunch of questions, and I had many curiosities I wanted to fill. So I was asking all sorts of things on like mysteries of history, things about physics. I had ideas about the future. And so they would give me all these answers. And it was exciting. So I did this very periodically. I then met my wife in 1996 at Michael's house because she was Michael's niece. We got married, we have 3 children, and then Michael retired from the Evergreens in 2004, and it was some years after that that we actually inherited the Evergreens material. Now, unfortunately, Michael passed away in 2013, and I had to archive all this material from the 70s, 80s. While going through his whole book collection, I came across this book, Breakthrough, an amazing experiment with electronic communication with the dead. That was the beginning to the Dragonfly.
So when I talked to Richard, he told me all about the technology, and he told me all about how he came into learning about the technology, which I found fascinating. From there, I told him all about the company that I work for, Color Energy, and how I couldn't wait to see if there was some way that we could align and work with him. With Color Energy's experience in color and auras, energy medicine, technology, Dragonfly felt like the next big fit. It felt perfect. After I spoke with Richard, I set up an appointment to have him come and meet with my family and myself and my mom and we had several hours together where we experienced some profound messages. One of the questions that I had asked, I received an answer for that didn't make sense at the time, but little did I know a week later that that profound answer was going to be my guiding light for where I'm at today.
Nikola Tesla said it best: if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So then I slept on it, and when I woke up, I just had this instinct. I knew what part to change. So when I changed it, I tried the whole thing again. Then I heard something, like I heard words, and I was like, okay. So then I went to the beginning of the recording, and the first words I heard were, "We have you found." I was so excited. I was so overwhelmed. I could not believe it. It's real. So my first objective, of course, is I need someone else to try this out. So I went around the house. No one was home except for one person. And when I had this person who is actually a tutor of my son try it out, I was like, trying to explain to her, okay, so this is what I have. It's kind of weird. Do you want to try it? She was like, sure. So then when she tried it, she actually heard her grandfather's voice.
So the first time I put on the headset and listened to what sounded just at that time was like static, 2 seconds of static, and it was repeating over itself. And I remember Richard was saying, just listen and you'll hear something. And I had no idea what to expect. And I'm listening and it was so weird because it's going and it's like just like that, all of a sudden the words came through, and it was, "I love you, Goody." And it was my grandfather's voice. And he had passed away 2 years before that. And it was his voice, I couldn't have made that up, from static going to, and Goody was my nickname as a child. So that, even the fact that he used a name, sounded like him, came through this thing. I honestly, in that moment, I don't know how I felt. It was just like, holy crap, what is this?
What a greater idea, but to align yourself with tools that can actually help to tap you into your indigo intuitive energy, and then link you with a device that allows you to communicate with what so many people try to spend hours meditating to try and receive those answers, that you could literally get those answers within moments. It's profound.
I received a lot of different messages. A couple of them were from my brother, who had passed away quite some time ago. But the real interesting part of the messages I received from my brother is they didn't just stop when I was using the Dragonfly, when I was plugged in. Every single night that week that I was experiencing this, I dreamt about my brother. And I guess what it really opened up in me was that pathway and that connection to my guides, and realizing that we all have that power within ourselves to connect to our guides at any time. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of vibrational frequency, a little boost to get us there before we realize that the power was always within us.
So then I asked my spiritual guides how to improve this technology further. And through a lot of question and answers, we actually got the Dragonfly to where it is today. So now, easy as can be, everyone can connect to the other side. Anyone can communicate with any soul that exists on the spiritual plane. Spiritual guides know everything about you. They have infinite knowledge, and they want to help. They want to help you solve your problems. They want to help you in your life. So any problem or question you have can easily be answered, because they understand completely what's going on. They were there when it was happening. You'll be happier, you'll have more knowledge, you'll know more of who you are, and to a big surprise, if you have animals, you will notice a difference in those animals. I've had clients report animals that were needy all of a sudden become calm. Cats who may have ignored you, you're now their best friend. It's very interesting to see. Your dreams will start changing. You may notice that you have more information, your intuition increases, your awareness goes up. but overall, it's a very positive shift.
That was just the beginning. And from then, the shifts that have been created within me, the things that I've learned, just my whole world has opened up into something that this is why I'm here, because I can't wait for everybody to have that experience. And the more we can get connected to it and the more people can experience what this is about, like, the world's going to be a beautiful place very soon. Just come try it, is all I'm saying.
We've been aligning with Richard to create programs now so that people can understand how they can be more empowered and how we can actually help people to refine their question asking process and deciphering their answers.
It's only understandable to think that mediums and psychics can connect on that vibrational level. So why can't we? So this box just sort of gives you that missing vibration that you need to connect with your spirit guides as well. It's an amazing experience, whether you believe or whether you don't believe. If something like this comes your way, you owe it to yourself to give it a shot and make your own decisions from that.
There are so many ways to build revenue from owning a Dragonfly. This includes individual and group readings, home parties, trade shows, teaching group and empowerment workshops. Possibilities are limitless.
This is the Dragonfly. This is your psychic amplifier.
This little device is a game changer. It made working in life turn into playing in life.
If you would like to connect with spirit guides and loved ones, I encourage you to try the Dragonfly. Come to one of our empowerment workshops. Find somebody who is in your area that owns a Dragonfly and experience it with them. It'll change your life.